Good morning, friends. I will speak about Raja Rao today in this lecture. This will be a very brief lecture. Raja Rao is a prominent Indian English writer. He established a new trend in the tradition of novel writing in English language. You see, these writers were writing in the colonial times, especially in the 1930s, and they were writing prolifically. But the point is, these Indian English writers were writing in English language, and the language which was borrowed from the colonial empire. It was not our language, so there was this anxiety attached to it. They were, of course, writing, successfully and imaginatively in this new language. Their articulation was brilliant, but they constantly had this sense of anxiety. So Rajaram, in his forward to Kantapura, tries to illuminate the dilemma of the Indian English writers, because all of them collectively face this dilemma as to what to do with this new so-called alien language. And it was the language of the master, because the nationalist theory was that by using the language of the master, one perpetuates the power relations. So that produced a different kind of anxiety. So Rajaram tries to highlight this issue in forward to Kantapura, and at the same time he tries to resolve this contradiction. Let me read out briefly about Raja Rao. He was, one of the most innovative novelists of the 20th century, who boldly departed from the European novelistic tradition. He Indianized this form in the process of garnering material from the Indian literary tradition. He is one of the iconic writers who constituted the triumvirate in Indian English writing, along with R.K. Narayan and Mulkraj Anand. His works reflect a deep understanding of Indian village life and his metaphysical and philosophic orientation. His contribution to the Indian novelistic tradition lies in his experimentation with form and style. His most celebrated novel, The Serpent and the Rope, was semi autobiographical, and in this novel, he explored the idea of spiritual truth. This novel fetched him Sahitya Academy Award in 1964. Kantapura, which came out in 1938, trailed a new blaze in the Indian literary domain. The novel narrates the life of Kantapura, a small South Indian village, and this village can be seen as microcosmic representation of Indian village life. The novel is narrated in the form of a Sthal Puran by an old woman of the village, Achaka, whose narration evokes the spirit of tradition of folk tales. The novel probes deeply into the social, cultural, and economic life of the rural India. It sheds light on the prevalent social hierarchies and power relations like caste system, patriarchy, and feudalism in the rural landscape. The novel reflects the impact of Gandhian politics and philosophy. The main protagonist of the novel, Murthy, a Brahmin, being influenced by Gandhian ideals, takes up the stand against a hierarchical social order and oppressive colonial regime. See, in this preface, uh, Raja Rao argues that intellectually he is attached to the English language, but emotionally he is attached to the vernacular. He says that one can use this alien language, so to speak, but one has to express the spirit of India, the tempo of Indian life. So one can use the new form, which is borrowed from the the colonial empire, but one can use it to articulate the Indian essence. So that's how he tries to resolve the contradiction. Then in addition to that, he asserts that we should not write like the Britishers. We cannot and we should not. Why? Because our purpose is not to copy them. For instance, there is an American dialect of English. There is an Irish dialect of English. So there will be an Indian dialect of English. So he says that you should try to be original. We should write in this new form, in this new language, but we should express the essence of Indian life, and that's how he concludes his argument, saying that there is no problem in writing in English, but one has to stick to the original Indian aesthetic spirit and tempo. That's all. Thank you so much. So I'm going to end the lecture now. Thank you for listening.